Well, hi, gang. It's me, Ranger Mannie, here at Monocacy's Visitor Center Museum. And we're going to do a quick run through, and I'm just going to show you some of the cool stuff here. And it is really cool, despite my demeanor sometimes. Sometimes moving camera makes people a little nauseous, so I hope that's not the case this time around. So let's go through the museum here at Monocacy's Visitor Center. Here we have the two opponents, Union General Lew Wallace and Confederate General Jubal Early. Introductory information about the Civil War itself, and talking about 1864 being a key year. That was, as it says, Union stalemate. Grant's troops tied up around Petersburg, Virginia, hoping to get to Richmond, and the long drawn-out struggle that was. Look, it's John Garrett, one of the heroes of Monocacy. He was the president of the B&O Railroad, and Lew Wallace was getting a lot of his intelligence from John Garrett. Look at this. Maryland divided. Maryland was half Union and half Confederate. It had divided sympathies, and it was a slave state. It's not until 1864, when Maryland rewrites its constitution, that the enslaved people are freed in Maryland. Hey, look, it's a kid's corner. Let's check this out. Look, we got this cool little Confederate kepi that kids can actually put on. We got a little Confederate jacket here. We've got a canteen and a haversack, all very cool. Here's a little mannequin of our typical little kid soldier. And let's see. Oh, look, there's a very cool officer's field desk. Imagine an officer having to, like a colonel, commander of a regiment, he's in charge of 1,000 men. That involves a lot of office work, and this is his mobile office, his field office. It's kind of cool to think about. Lew Wallace, ooh, put me down as a fanboy. I love him and I love his story. He was a real underdog, a real redemption story. He recovered his good name here at the Battle of Monocacy, and that is a story for another video. Okay, let's go in here and see what we've got. Oh, look. This tells the story of little Glenn Worthington, 6 years old. He's in the basement of his parents' home. He's looking through the boards of a boarded up basement window where they're taking shelter, and he's watching the battle unfold before him. He wrote the first, and some say the best book about the Battle of Monocacy, though I really like Brett Spalding's book. It's really good. Okay, let's go in here. Oh, what do we have here? Look at that. It's the actual frock coat and vest worn by Union General Lew Wallace. I don't know about you, gang, but I got goosebumps right now. All right, into another gallery. Cool artifacts. Springfield rifle, cavalry saber, canteen. Look at this. An original soldier's shoe, a brogan. Very cool. Uh-oh, check this out. This very cool Union artillery officer's kepi. Man, that's nice. I love that. Oh, and you know what a fan I am of artillery projectiles. I cannot get enough artillery projectiles. We've also got a little balcony, a little overlook here in the visitor center. Get some great views of the battlefield. Pretty fabulous. Hey, here we have a cavalry saddle and a cavalry carbine and saber. This is a reminder that cavalry was in use here at the Battle of Monocacy. McCausland's cavalry in the opening phases of the battle, about 8:30, splashing across the river to do battle with Ricketts' men. Also, Bradley Johnson's raid towards Port Lookout. I don't want to spoil the ending. He was hoping to free a whole bunch of Confederate prisoners, but that doesn't happen. And inside this case, look at this, a Confederate battle flag. Now, the reason it's in this case is to protect it from ultraviolet light, because it is very, very, very delicate, and this is the kind of artifact that we want to be be available for future generations to see. Keep in mind, the National Park Service is in it for the long haul, my friends. Here's our electric map, which tells the story of the battle with little LED lights showing troop movements and stuff like that. Another picture of my buddy Lew Wallace, and over here his adversary, General Jubal Early, the profane, crotchety, and incredibly talented Confederate general who General Robert E. Lee called my bad old man. That's kind of fun. I like that. Okay, we have more information about Confederate troops approaching Washington, throwing the city into panic. Abraham Lincoln actually being shot at while he's observing Early's approach to Washington, D.C. at Fort Stevens. Another interactive map that visitors can wrap their heads around, which is pretty cool. What's this? Oh yeah, Early's advance on Washington. Very, very cool. Oh, here's another thing. Pardon me while we backtrack a little bit. Retribution. One of the things that Early is doing as he rampages through Maryland is he is ransoming cities. He's saying, give me $200,000 in Yankee money or I'll burn your city down. This is retribution for the Union depredations that took place in the Shenandoah Valley. Now here is something really cool. Check this out. The actual Medal of Honor presented to Lieutenant George Davis, May 27, 1892, for his actions at the Battle of Monocacy. George Davis had about 275 men, and when Union forces retreated across the Monocacy River, they burned the covered bridge, leaving Davis and his men stranded on the wrong side of the river. He repulsed 3 Confederate attacks, and keep in mind he only had 275 guys. Eventually he'll lead them successfully in their escape across the railroad bridge, and it was nip and tuck, my friends. The Confederates were right behind them. The Thomas Cox Bible, you can see it was hit by a mini ball there. Unfortunately, it did not save his life. He did die from his wound. You know, there was one Civil War soldier who said, as many lives were saved by a deck of cards in the breast pocket than were by a pocket Bible. Those guys. Okay, so there you have a very brief tour of the Monocacy Visitor Center Museum. Definitely come and check it out yourself, okay? And who knows, maybe I'll be here and we can visit for a little while. All right, I'll see you with another video in a couple of days. Ciao.